Welcome to Impact Circle Education, first holistic development program webinar of the year. And we're very glad to have Miss Agata Stapelfeldt with us. She will introduce herself further, but today we want to talk about happiness and how to be happy. I think it's a very suitable topic to talk about at the start of the year for our first holistic development program webinar, because we need to know what we are pursuing and why we're pursuing, and are we even happy pursuing it, and why are we doing what we are doing. So we're very, very glad to have Miss Agata to give this webinar out of her busy schedule, as a busy mom of 4. All right, so we're really, really thankful to have her today. And today we have some of our students as well as our parents with us today. I think there'll probably be more coming in. There are some people who sign up and we have sent them the link, so we'll see whether they show up. Okay, but anyway, this session is recorded, so it will be for our parents and our students to watch as well. Okay, so over to you, Agata.
Thank you. And now I'm going to share my presentation. There it is. And I would like to call this talk more choose to be happy, not how to be happy. I think because a lot of people know about how to be happy, but I want to bring a message forward which gives you more power, which means you have the power to choose to be happy or not, whatever you choose. And my intention in this talk is that I would like to share with you that being happy is quite simple, that we don't have to struggle and suffer in our lives. We don't have to survive because we have food on our table, we have a home, our family and friends, and we have all the things that we actually need. And I mean, I'm not talking about every single person on this planet, but I think we all have this privilege, those people who are on this call and those people who are going to listen to this talk. So that's why we really can choose to be happy and thrive and flourish in our lives and to have the best life experience possible. Now, I'm just going to say a little bit about myself. I'm Agata, I'm from Russia, and I live in Singapore with my family, my 4 kids, my husband, and our helper. I'm a transformational life coach and a health coach, and I like to call myself a happiness coach because in my work, I guide clients towards deep discoveries and insights, and I share tips for healthy lifestyle and encourage free movement and self-expression and being authentic. And this process eventually leads to a more fulfilled and happy life. I'm also involved in various projects which have a mission, and with a mission myself, to support our fellow human beings psychologically and mentally. The projects like Sidewalk Talk, Chatty Caterpillar, and a social project to provide mental help for young people in Singapore. Basically, I'm on a mission to share and inspire love, light, and happiness. And today I'd like to talk to you about how to choose to be happy and how to help people around us also to be happier. And in my talk, I'm going to cover the following things. So I'm going to share the current situation in society in regards to happiness. I'm going to share my story of unhappiness and misery and of self-discovery and the discovery of happiness. And then I'm going to share some practices that can be very useful in order to become and feel much happier. And in the end, I'm going to do a guided meditation. Also, that will help everyone who is doing it understand themselves better, their feelings, their needs, and what they need exactly to feel happier. So, about the current situation in the society, the pursuit to achieve success by any means possible, I think is very clear to everyone. Because this is what most of the people who are successful nowadays, when we look at them, they look successful. This is what they are striving towards. And when we think of what success is actually, what is it? I think that the meaning of success success is defined by parents, and the roots of this meaning are parents' personal aspirations, unfulfilled dreams, and fears. So most of us don't really know what we really want and why we're doing what we're doing, as well as our parents a lot of times don't know what they want, and they for sure don't know what we want. And we end up collecting material goods in the end, in different forms. It can be things, it can be achievements, awards, reputation. Even is quite a material good in a way, if we think about it. And I believe that this pursuit is actually a pursuit of happiness, but does it actually make us happy? Like all this pursuit of successful success, does it make us happy? Will it make a young generation happy? I believe we got it a bit wrong. I would like to show you that a completely opposite perspective on happiness, which has nothing to do with becoming faster, harder, stronger, powered by ambition, strong will, and force. Because I believe that reality, the truth, is somewhere in the middle. Yes, our material life is supposed to be filled with material pursuits and material things, but we need to remember our souls too. And they need more than just accumulated stuff, awards, and other people's respect. Actually, even when we think about what respect is, a lot of times it is based on other people's own unfulfilled needs and desires. And it's not based on what we are doing exactly. So, to remember to be happy, we need both the material pursuit and the satisfaction of our soul's desires, so that the personality and ego can be fed and the heart and soul can sing. We need both. Now I'm just going to share my story and tell. Yes, I am from Russia. Russia is the biggest country in the world. But I'm not from the capital of Russia. I mean, I am from the capital of Russia, but my parents are not. I was born in Moscow, but I mean, I went to a very regular school, did ballroom dancing. Anyway, I was quite successful. I had very good grades at school, and eventually those grades allowed me to enter a private American school in the UK and then study at King's College in London. And in fact, I remember how I was working hard to get all those good grades because I believed that it would make me happy. Also, when I was doing ballroom dancing, I remember I wanted to be a world champion, and I thought that it would make me happy too. I mean, at some point I realized that I didn't want to pursue that dream anymore. But I was already a finalist in the Russian championship in the adult category when I was 17. Though that was quite an achievement. But it didn't make me happy. I always thought that I wasn't enough. I wasn't good enough. And every achievement I achieved, or how to say, it kind of inspired another one and made this achievement not that worthy anymore. So I achieved so much in my studies, in my ballroom dancing career, but it didn't make me happy. And even later, you know, all my dreams were coming true. I married my true love. I moved to the city that I wanted to live in, to Zurich, which is where I lived before Singapore. I gave birth to 4 kids, exactly as I dreamed. And then we moved to Singapore, also dream come true. I had everything one needs to be happy. And although I wouldn't say I was super rich, but like very well off, and I definitely had enough to be happy. But I wasn't. This yeah, these achievements, the great material well-being, loving, supportive family, healthy kids, and me myself also being healthy, didn't make me happy. And then I was questioning myself, what is happiness anyway? And through my work, through my self-work, self-reflection, and through my work with clients as a coach, I have defined happiness in the following way, which you can see on the screen. Is happiness is accepting life as it is, and no matter what, always having a reason to get up in the morning and being grateful for being alive and experiencing life. It is not about collecting stuff, and it can always be there. We just need to remind ourselves sometimes that it's there. Happiness is like the sun that is sometimes hidden behind the clouds, but it's always there. Sometimes we can't see it, but it's always, always there. Now I'd like to ask you, are you happy? And if you are happy, I am so happy for you. But if you are not, why? Why aren't you happy? I had my reasons, right? I wanted more, and I was not appreciating what was there already. And because I gave away my power over how I'm feeling, I didn't feel appreciated. I didn't accept my life as it was. I blame my husband for not being as perfect as I expected him to be. I blame my kids for not giving me time to work on my projects of interest. I already managed to complete my studies to become a coach, but having 4 young kids to take care of doesn't help my professional career, to be honest. But even after we got a helper and I had some time to work, I still wasn't satisfied until I realized what was going on. And this I shared just now. I was after things, experiences, achievements. I was working on satisfying my ego, my personality, the material side of my life. And only when I understood that things, experiences, and achievements are only one side of the story, I realized where the most satisfying achievement lies. What is the ultimate goal in life? If we think about it, when it's time for us to go, to leave the life that we are having, do we want to have certain things, brag about our achievements, remember the exact experiences that we had? Or do we want to feel a certain way? I believe that, yes, I believe that all of us are after pleasant feelings and emotions. And this is what every human being wants, even when we're after things. In the end, we just want to feel good. Oops. We just want to feel good. We just want to feel happy, you know? Just want to have this warm feeling inside. That's why we need to choose to be happy. That's why we need to choose to be happy first. Because the feeling comes first. It has to be there already so that we can sustain the content that we eventually get from having some material things, from collecting things and experiences and achievements. Because if it's not there, we will get something, we will be happy about it for a little while, and then the feeling will be gone if it's not there in the first place. And then we're going to go after the next thing, the next achievement, the next experience. The feeling has to be there first. And it's important because we know that there is always something better, that there is always more that we could get and do or achieve. There is always room for improvement. Always. Always. It's like a love life. It's like there is always room. But happiness comes not from improvement. It comes from being grateful for what one already has and from serving the community out of the desire to share one's gifts, talents, and to help or to serve for a bigger purpose. If we can allow ourselves to live like this, appreciate and enjoy what we have, and put ourselves forward to serve others, we will feel happy. And this is what I direct my focus on my own life. And I'd like to encourage everyone whom I meet also to do this. And of course, I believe that sharing this philosophy with my kids is my most important parental mission. And I know that I can only encourage others to live like this when I follow the steps and the practices myself, the practices that help me choose to be happy, help me have the feeling of happiness first. And for the parents who are going to listen to this webinar, I'd like to share that we can only share our philosophies with our kids when we're living them ourselves. Then our kids are going to learn it from us. Otherwise, we can't inspire anything in others when we're not following it ourselves, when we're not living it ourselves. That's why for us parents, it's really important to be happy first and then to help our children to be happy. And for children, what I can say is that just bear with your parents, bear with them, be patient. They maybe they need a little bit more time to understand. But if you understand what I'm talking about, you can also start working on this yourself so that when you have kids, you can inspire your kids like this by being already someone that you would like your kids to inspire to be. I mean, it's not going to be exactly what, I mean, you don't want your kids to be exactly like you. This is exactly what I want to put forward, that our kids are different from us. And our kids' happiness is going to be different from ours. But when we can inspire the feeling of happiness in our kids, I think this is enough. This is one very important mission of a parent. And now I'm just going to share with you very, very simple practices for happiness. Here they're called like 3 steps, but they're more like practices, and they're not just one-off practices that we need to do. They are things that we need to constantly engage in. We need to always be aware of remembering to do these things. And they automatically or naturally lead to us feeling happy. They help us remember that we are happy. You can see them here. The practices that I'm talking about are acceptance, gratefulness, and meaning. Or we can say purpose as well. And for acceptance, yes, accepting life as it is. What is it? What does it mean? A lot of times we understand that, yes, we are where we are because this is where we're supposed to be, because this is what we deserve. But sometimes it's really hard to accept it, especially if it's something that's not so pleasant. here I'd like to just share that even if something is not pleasant, it doesn't mean that it's not there. And if we don't accept it, it's just going to keep us further away from learning something from it and from going through it and from being done with it. So it's very helpful to recognize what is happening, even if it's unpleasant. I mean, I'm talking about unpleasant stuff because this is what we usually have difficulty with accepting. It's really easy to accept good stuff, right? Like something which we like and enjoy, and we'll be, oh yes, I accept that with my whole, like wholeheartedly, with my open arms. Please be there. I love it, right? But when it's something not very pleasant and challenging, we just don't want to have it. We just want to get rid of it. But the fact that it's there, whatever it is, either a good thing or not a good thing, if we think of life in these terms, the fact that it's there means that we have created it ourselves. And the earlier we recognize it and accept it, the faster we can do something about it. And the more good stuff we can get out of it, even if it's not really nice. We need to learn the lessons from our challenges. We need to breathe them through. We need to let them be and see how our lives are becoming even better when we get out on the other side. And to fully accept the pleasant experiences and feelings, we also need to breathe them in and really, really feel how wonderful we're feeling when we're experiencing something pleasant, and register that it's happening with us and that it was there and that we can be grateful for it, truly grateful. Here, I'd like to actually suggest one exercise that one can do to learn acceptance. And this will be quite a simple exercise with feelings. We need to learn and to start giving space to our emotions first. So, for example, what we can do is, if we experience something unpleasant, maybe I'm angry, maybe I'm irritated, maybe I'm sad, I feel that I'm in misery, and it's all fine. We can be happy and experience these things. It's fine. I'm not saying that happiness is constant and endless joy. It's not. Happiness is what I previously told about what it is. And we can be happy even when we are feeling bad by doing this. Stopping and breathing. I stop. I notice how I'm feeling. I am angry. And I'm breathing. I'm breathing through it fully. I'm experiencing it fully. I'm letting it be. I'm accepting it. I'm accepting that it's there. It's an emotion. An emotion has a beginning, it has a life, and it has an end. And we need to just allow it to be and to be done, and then it's going to go away. A lot of the things that we don't accept have to do with our emotional reactions. That's why it's really important to to stop and to let the emotions just be there and then go. And a lot of times this is enough to feel much better again, to feel appreciating again. So this will be one exercise that can be really helpful on our path to acceptance. And the next practice that I would like to share with you is gratefulness. We need to constantly be thankful for everything that is happening in our lives. Because when we truly accept our lives as they are, we see that we can only be grateful. Everything is a blessing, a pleasant experience, a challenge. In the end, we always realize that it was there for a reason, and I am thankful for it. From my own perspective, I can definitely say that all the challenges that I have experienced in my life until now, I wouldn't want to change. I would like my life to be as it was. And I think a lot of adults, a lot of older people, and especially even much older than me, would relate to that, and they would say, I wouldn't change anything about my life. Everything was as it was, and I'm thankful for how it was. Because it made me who I am, because it made my life what it was. And I'm only grateful for it. I can only be grateful. I have learned so many lessons. I have become so much wiser. And I wouldn't be able to achieve what I've achieved on this soul level if I didn't have everything that happened in my life, the challenges and the good stuff. One exercise for gratefulness, for being thankful, or for practicing gratefulness can be, um, well, gratefulness and acceptance at the same time is, for example, if we can't accept something straight away, if we have a situation in life where we're like, no, I just can't accept it. It's really like there is nothing in my life to accept. It's so bad right now. What I can start doing is noticing pleasant things that I can be grateful for in my life, no matter what. And this will be beautiful weather, whatever weather you like, whether the sun or the rain, right? In Singapore, it's different for everyone. Or look at the trees, look at the birds singing. Just go outside and feel the air on your skin. Isn't it nice? Isn't it something that we can be grateful for, that we can thank our lives for? Or, for example, if I am thirsty, I can just go and get a glass of water and my thirst is satisfied. Isn't it wonderful? Like, this is such a simple thing, but I can already be thankful for it. And the more such things I find in my life, the more gratefulness I can experience, the more gratefulness I can feel. And this means that I will be attracting even more things and experiences and everything that I can be thankful for. Because our state of being plays the most important role in creating our future. Appreciation creates more appreciation, or so to say, appreciation creates more of something that we can appreciate. Love creates more of something that we can love, or more of experiences where we get more love. Kindness creates more kindness. We cannot be more grateful through dissatisfaction, right? So we're going to be saying, oh, this is bad, this I don't like, this is like, and then we're going to think, but if it's improved a little bit, I'm going to be thankful. And then we're going to like judge everything. We're not going to have more gratefulness by being so ungrateful in the first place. Or we can not feel more love through hatred. if we hate someone and then expect that there's going to be more love in our lives, that we're going to feel more love in our lives by hating a lot, it's not going to happen. And we can't spread kindness by being angry. So we can't have more to appreciate by being ungrateful. And for this practice, I'd like to suggest you to do another exercise, which I call the thank you sun. And I'd like Angela to share the template for this exercise in the chat. And you can do it once a day, either in the morning or in the evening. You can write out everything that you're thankful for. And as I said, you don't have to think about really great and how to say, like really big stuff that you're grateful for. You can just think about, I had a glass of water, I'm grateful for it. I had a nice shower. I have a really nice dress or a really cool outfit to wear. Or I look at myself in the mirror and I like my hair, for example. I'm grateful for it. Or I'm grateful for my family supporting me, or I'm grateful for my school, I'm grateful for my teachers. There are so many things to be grateful for. And if we make it an everyday practice, regular practice, we can really be happy. It's like we won't even need anything to make us happy because we are already happy. We know that. And sometimes, yeah, I mean, I used to have these thoughts, okay, if I'm already so satisfied and grateful and happy, like I wouldn't want to do anything. Like why would I go and achieve something because I'm already so fulfilled? I'd say here, in this case, your goals and your desires are going to be a little bit different. They're going to be, you would want to achieve things, you would want to serve other people in the community and the world, not because you want to become happier, but because you want to spread your happiness, because you want to inspire people to be happy. And this is a totally different achievement, totally different feeling from this achievement, because you are going to do what you do not out of the need to feel better, but out of the desire to give and share and serve. Yes, I'm going to add a little bit more on this topic a bit later. And now I'd like to come to the third practice. And this is more about your inner understanding. It's something that I want to just inspire you to feel, something that I feel is really important for every human being to believe in. Because like this, the quality of life really increases. And when we put ourselves forward, I mean, it allows us to really put ourselves forward. Because no matter who we are, what we do, we are valuable. And the first person who needs to see this value is ourselves. And it's our responsibility and it's in our power to see it and to give to ourselves this this feeling, so to speak. Because if I am here, if I was born, I am already valuable. There was a talk by one coach on TED once, and she was like, that when you were born, you already won a lottery. Like there were like billions of other possible people that could have been born instead of you, but you were born. And that means you are valuable and you deserve to be born. You deserve to have this life experience and to make the most out of it. And you have something to give to this planet, to the world. Because if you think about it, our world is like one big organism. This is the society, the people. And each individual is like a cell, like a small cell, which is a part of this huge organism. And we are valuable, like every cell in the organism, like every cell in our bodies, like every organ that consists of cells. And our body wouldn't be able to survive if there was something missing. The same with the world. Each human being is valuable, and the humanity wouldn't be able to survive and to go where it's supposed to be going. I mean, sometimes you might think, yes, the world is a bit messed up, but I believe that everything is going exactly where it should go, and we are a huge part of it. I mean, we're little parts of it, but we can make a big impact because we are here. And even if we don't know what we can give right now, sometimes, especially when we're young, we don't understand what we can give. It's like, I don't have a job yet. I don't have an occupation yet, a profession. But we can always give, for example, appreciation. We can always give appreciation to another person. And this can change someone's life. We can, whatever we do, however we speak to people, whatever we create, however we put ourselves forward, it affects other people. And this means that we are valuable because we do influence the people around us. And just want to say about sometimes people might think that only some special high achieving jobs are valuable in our society. Only people who are doing like really important stuff are valuable. But you know that even doing the most mundane job, like cleaning or fixing a house or building a house, I mean, not many people want to go and build a house, right, nowadays. But those people who are doing it are also very valuable because they help big projects to be accomplished. They are also very valuable parts of those systems that allow the society to function as it functions. That's why I just want to say that even if you think that you're kind of not valuable, or even if we think that we might not be able to achieve anything, sometimes we have these thoughts. And that's why we're not valuable. That's why we're not enough. That's why we're not good enough or anything. I just want to say that it's not true. Every one of us is valuable. Everyone is enough. Everyone is definitely good enough. And especially if we believe this, if we believe that we're good enough, we are definitely going to be good enough. It's like we don't even have to question it. Because whatever we do, we bring value. Let me say it from the first person, like a mantra. Whatever I do, I bring value. Because when I know my worth and I find meaning in what I do, this service is coming from the heart. And it's the best that I can give right now. And this is enough. Enough to feel valuable and meaningful. Yes. And the feeling of value, of self-worth comes first here too. And when we have this self-worth and value ourselves, it leads to various results that, I mean, and even just feeling it makes us feel happy. In the end, what I just want to say is that we're not after how our life experience looks like. We're after the feeling, and the feeling of happiness. And this feeling of happiness encompasses all of what I just shared: the acceptance, the appreciation, the self-worth, value, and meaning. Happiness is just putting it all together. But it can also be just felt by itself. And it kind of encourages all those practices also to be lived, like kind of experienced. The feeling of happiness. Yes, that's why we are after this feeling now. Because if not now, then when? Now is the only moment that we have in life. It's now. And if we're not happy now, this is my company's name, Happy Now, then we will not be happy in the future. So that's why we need to choose happiness now. Because in order to experience this feeling regularly, we need to remember now that we're happy already, when we accept our lives as they are, when we are grateful for being alive, when we find meaning and purpose in our lives. Whether all our needs are met, desires are fulfilled, goals are achieved or not, we can already celebrate our lives and experience them fully and choose to be happy. The feeling of happiness comes first, and the life experience adjusts to this feeling or state of being. So let's choose to be happy. And just from my side, as a parent, I'd like to say that if we are happy, we can be that example of a happy person for our children. And this is the most valuable thing that we can give them, I believe. Actually, from my parental experience, I have come so far from where I was a little more than a year ago by truly choosing to be happy, by following these practices that I just described. My own contentment allows me to be in resource most of the time. In resource meaning being ready to hear myself and to hear other people, and to be really helpful and supportive to myself and to others. This means what being in resources. So it also helps me to have more patience, understanding, and acceptance and love. First of all, for myself, of course, because this is where it's all coming from. And then, of course, to my kids, for my kids and for my husband, for my family, for the people who surround me. And naturally, I don't have the need to control my emotions, to suppress my irritation or reaction, any other reaction to whatever is happening around me. Because this reaction, which I don't like, which I didn't like before, it's just not there anymore. Because I feel happy first. I choose to be happy first. I understand also from experience that although these practices are very simple, following them is not easy. It requires opening oneself up first to oneself, recognizing the unpleasant feelings, experiences, the attitude, the true intentions behind the actions. It encourages us to own these manifestations in our lives and say, yes, this is me and I feel it and this is who I am. And sometimes it's like a dark side opening up and we really don't want to see that. But when we ask ourselves why this is happening, and then we explore and we find that there are some needs that are really not being satisfied, and then we learn that we can actually satisfy these needs and we can do it ourselves. We can be ourselves the biggest understander, supporter, and appreciator of ourselves first. No one can fulfill our needs like we can. No one can make sure for us that our needs are being fulfilled. It is our responsibility, and we have to keep this power to shape our lives in our hands. And then, when we are able to satisfy our needs and to choose to be happy, we can truly make a big difference in the world, in the society. Well, first, maybe in our families, then the community, then the world. So, as parent, yes, I find it very, very important that we need to be happy and in resource first, and then we can help our kids in the best possible way. And as kids, when you know this information, and when you find that your parents are maybe reacting to you and maybe in a way that you don't like, maybe not very pleasant, maybe you could be more understanding towards them and realize that maybe they're not very happy yet. And when you share with them the tips that I gave you, if you'd like, of course, if you feel like you can and you feel that it's okay, and then maybe the parents could become happier and they could become also more understanding of you. I'd like to now do a short guided meditation. We can do a really short one. And I actually think we can just do one in order to get connected to our feelings. I want to do this one. And what I'd like you to do is to take a comfortable position, and we're going to close our eyes. And we're gonna make a couple of deep breaths. And whenever we breathe out, we just let go, just release everything. And now, keep your eyes closed and just think of some situation where you didn't feel very happy. You felt very unhappy, so to say. Unhappy, it was very unpleasant, and it made you quite sad. You had a lot of unpleasant emotions. And if you can feel and maybe locate in your body where exactly you could sense the sensation of that emotion was. And now that you can see, can locate this emotion, can see it, You can even look at it. You can look at it with your mind's eye and think of, what do you need? What is it that you need when you feel like this, when you look at it? The needs might be support, love. Maybe you need more freedom. Maybe you need more respect. Maybe you need more understanding or acceptance. What is it that you need? Just accept it. Yes, these are the things that I need, or they're not really things, but feelings. And now you can think about how you can give it to yourself first. And how, maybe if you can't give it straight away, maybe you can think of how you can give it to yourself a bit later. Or if you can't give it to yourself, sometimes it also happens like this. Who do you need to ask to give it to you? And just listen to yourself and hear the answer to the following question. How can that person give it to you? And how you can communicate that person what exactly you need from them. Now I'd like you to feel that you can trust your life and that all your needs are going to be fulfilled. And that the only thing that you need to do right now is to open yourself up to your life where all your needs are satisfied, where you have enough love, you have understanding, you have acceptance, you have support, you have respect, you have everything that you need in order to thrive and be happy. Because in reality, you can have it when you open yourself up and trust. And let's just take one more deep breath in and out. And just see ourselves, visualize ourselves being happy and having all our needs fulfilled. Appreciating our lives, accepting our lives, and feeling valuable and living a life with purpose. Let's see ourselves choosing to be happy. Now let's open our eyes. And if you did this meditation, I think it would have really helped you to experience some interesting feelings and emotions, and to be a bit more connected to yourselves. If not, maybe it's not the time yet. It's okay too. We don't have to do everything that someone is offering us. We can make choices, and it's also great. So now I just like to conclude my talk, and I thank you so much for listening. Yeah, I'll be happy to hear if you actually, maybe Angela is going to share with you. I think in order for us to better internalize information that we get, it's really important to reflect on what we've learned. And maybe it will be helpful to write in your journals what exactly you learned today and how exactly you're going to apply it in your own life. And like this, you don't only get knowledge, but you also get wisdom. You become wiser. And I just want to say that if you'd like to connect with me, you can just go onto my website, which is called happynow.life. And I'll be happy to support you. I have different options of support. I mean, as a coach, I provide individual coaching to people, and I also lead different courses. I always publish information on my website, which courses are coming up. And I also organize dancing sessions for my clients. They're complimentary, but maybe even for everyone else. It depends on the venue, you know, because I'm not a dance instructor. I'm just a passionate dancer, and that's why I'd like to do this. So anyway, if you'd like to learn more about happiness and maybe we could work on it together, please get in touch with me. I'll be happy to help. That's it from me. Thank you so much for having me.